Hi, in this video we are going to take a behind-the-scenes look at the cover for Artifacts, a new novel by Shane Lindemoen that Boxfire Press recently released. What you're looking at right now is the final version of the book, and I'm going to take you through sort of step by step the different elements that went into making up this cover. This is a story about an artifact that is found on Mars and brought to Earth. So we knew right away we wanted to feature the artifact on the cover. Our initial attempts that we made basically for early sales to book buyers featured a cube that looked a lot like this, and this was just a 3D primitive object created in Photoshop with some textures added to it. This one I think is the one that actually got put on the cover, and if you notice, it's not very good. It has the same texture on every side of the cube, and it was again just a quick mock-up to get sales copies ready. This was another early attempt at making the cube, so none of those really worked. The cube we ended up with is the one that you see on the cover, and here is a rendering of it that came out of a program called ZBrush, and I am gonna switch over to ZBrush real quick. I know this is kind of at the edge of where you can see down here at the bottom, but ZBrush is a digital sculpting program. And this was actually a very simple 3D object. We started again with a cube primitive, and we used some of ZBrush's tools and its brushes to, there we go, some of its many tools and brushes to age and texture the cube to make it look like it was on the surface of Mars. And we developed our own material, again using ZBrush's tools, to give it this sort of sheen and this sort of waxy feel almost to the material, so that it looked a little where you can almost start to see through the edges as though this cube was made out of some kind of hardened wax material. I don't think that's what it is in the story, but we wanted it to have a pretty unique appearance. And then again, we used some of ZBrush's painting tools and stencils to give it some texture, and you can see, I'll rotate it around here, we didn't actually paint the entire cube. We only painted the front end, and there were some other textures we experimented with on the back, and the lighting's kind of blowing it out here, but we actually only painted the edges, the sides of the surfaces of the cube that we knew we were going to need. So we ended up with this render that we took into Photoshop that you see here, and is the one that actually appears on the cover. So one of our early concepts for this cover looked like this, and again there's that awful first artifact cube that we tried to use that didn't work out so well, and we showed this to the author and he liked it, and it was actually his suggestion, which we really liked, to add this starry background in the top. But this background is a composite of several different layers, and I'll show you those right now. This is the image that we started with. This is just a stock photo of a location on Earth, not on Mars. But you know, we did some work on it to change the color and make it look more like it was on Mars. So there we have a photo filter on it that gave it this orange glow, and then we changed the hue to a deeper red, and voila, you have Earth to Mars. And then with just some masking, we took this photo of space, this computer generated space image, and composited that into the background. We did some more masking, if I can find it in my layers here. I'm not very good at organizing all of these. Hang on. There it is. We did some layering and masking with the background to make it look like the words artifact were actually sitting and underneath this layer of dust that was back here. And then we dropped in the artifact give it a glow to set it out a little bit, and then just some more adjustments to the color, some contrast curves adjustment, just a simple contrast curve applied to that, and then over top of that a levels change to again up the contrast and deepen the covers. And there you have it, the artifact cover.